welcome to another episode of UnStructured, your weekly podcast that is unstructured. You'll never know when it's coming, but it will come one day of the week. I'm so happy that, I can reach people with this platform and just speak. Just to have a voice, just to say something, just to talk on behalf of persons who feel like, they can be silent forever. They should be silent forever. I'm a believer of being able to communicate, to talk to people, to say things. Though oftentimes I may not communicate, but it must be that I'm at a point where I don't feel comfortable communicating. I don't feel comfortable sharing my views or my points or, my thoughts with someone or with a group of people. So I don't do it. But, I'm happy for this medium because, ain't nobody talking back to me. But the people in the comments, and I usually don't see the comments until after I post the recording, which, that's the only way you'll see it. But, I'm happy that I can have this podcast. I can do it just about anywhere. As you can see, I'm in my car. I just got home and I decided to, change the scenery up a little bit, be in the car. So please excuse the lighting because I'm in the car. Today I was like, what am I going to talk about today? Because I want to at least have, a specific day that you can look forward to see me. And Wednesday is kind of the day I'm thinking of, that you can actually tune in and say, oh, every Wednesday I can listen out for Latoya to come with something. So, I was in my room and I was thinking, like, what can we talk about today? What can I talk about today? What can be something we discuss on today's podcast? And, I sat and I looked at some people who, they're my friends. Well, sometimes I use that word very loosely, but some people that I associate with. And I'm like, things happen in their lives and they tell specific people. And you're like, but we're friends and you couldn't tell me that, hey, you're getting married, or hey, you're going to have a baby shower next week, or whatever the case might be, just for argument's sake, or you want something. But they tell selected people and you're like, but I thought I was a part of your circle. And I remember one time something had happened, and I'm sure if the person is listening, they'll remember this too. Something had happened and the person had reached out and the person was like, it's not for them to tell me or to talk to me about. So I was like, oh, darn. I thought we were friends. I thought that, hey, this was, somebody within my circle. And I realized from that point that, not because you talk to people or you go to the same social gathering with people or you interact with these people on a day-to-day basis, they're not necessarily your friends. People, I realized too that, some people don't value you, or I should say value me, or value, me as a person. But some people don't value people. They only know you when they want something. You have some people that just go around and because they needed to help them to type a letter, they call you. Or they need to find some information because they knew you did something, they reach out to you. But they don't reach out to you on any other time. And those are the people we call for a season. They're only in your lives for a season. They're not lifetime. And when the season is up, we need to let them go. Because when that season is over, it's making room for another season. If you live in the US, there's 4 seasons. I mean, if you live in the world, there's 4 seasons here. There's autumn, I always get them wrong, so don't judge me. Autumn, summer, spring, fall. Well, fall and autumn is the same. Autumn, summer, spring, winter. And I always wonder, why is it that, after some time you don't see some people again? But I have learned to let those people go because their season is over. My time with them is over. And you should do the same. People come to you and they want something, when they need something, but they never know that they can come and say, hey, just to check in, hey, how are you doing today? How was today? Did you understand what you were supposed to do at work? Did you get to pay a bill on time? Sometimes just checking in on somebody is very, very, very important. And a lot of people just wait for that one check-in. I know some of us don't want certain people checking on them, but hey, it is what it is. This still a check-in. You know, some people don't value people enough to take their check-in. And I can tell you this from experience. I have had people who come into my life. They came into my life and I thought that, hey, this was a lifetime friendship. But I realized it's a friendship with benefits. It's not, and I'm not talking sexual or whatever. I'm talking people who come and they use you and they abuse you. They take advantage of the situation. You're not realizing, they too probably don't realize, but their sole purpose is to get from you, but never give back. They never give back into you. They take and they pull all that, they suck it right out of you, but they never pour back something into you. When it's time for them to pour back, it might be too late. You know, God forbid, it might be too late. Not saying death, but I'm just saying, you know, it might be way too late to pour in. And we need to do better, people. We need to do better. We need to check on somebody. Don't wait until a week later or 2 weeks, or you know, oh God, we didn't hear from Latoya, let me check in on Latoya. Or you hear something along the line and that's when you want to check it out to find out if the story was true. No, checking on people, if it's just to say hi, I'm just checking on you, you're good, you're okay, stuff like that. Another point, you know, I want to bring up is know your worth. Know your worth. Don't just settle for any and everything. Know your worth. Don't put yourself down and say, oh, I can't do that. I will never be a I guess we're in the season of politics. I'll never be a politician because I can't do public speaking very well. Or I will never get to be a nurse because, you know, I don't have that skill of drawing blood or talking to people, or, you know, whatever the case might be. Know your worth and don't belittle yourself. Don't lower your standard to please anybody. Don't tell yourself that, hey, I cannot do it. Instead, try. Try and see what happens. Try and try and try until you can't try anymore. I told you about this podcast. I told you that I didn't know I could do it. I mean, I'm still wondering, is this the best option? Is this the best thing? Do I really want to put my voice out there? But I really do. A huge chunk of me wants to put that voice out there. But then another part of me is like, is it even going to reach anybody? Would anybody ever listen to it? Anybody ever subscribe? Would anybody ever share it with somebody? Would anybody ever come back and say, hey, you touched me with this? So far, I've had a few. Thank you to those persons who came back and gave feedback and stuff, and, you know, say, hey, you really touched me, this was my best podcast yet, or whatever the case might be. But guys, know your worth. Know your worth. Know where you stand in friendships, in relationships. And if you see that it's not working and you try, step back, step away. The season is over. Call it a day. The season is over. God makes way for more people in the season, in your upcoming season. And hey, this season might be rough. You know, it's winter, it's getting cold. People are getting cold. The world is getting cold. I was just in the supermarket and the guy asked me to hold on so that he could talk to his manager about something. And I was, of course, being nosy and eavesdropping. I was like, okay, let me hear what he wants. That is so urgent. But there was a lady before me and she had her phone and he was looking at the phone and then he had something else and he was like cross-checking some prices and stuff. Long story short, it seemed like the lady was taking a picture of them changing the prices and wanted them to honor the old prices that they had, or some tags that was there before. And I was like, God, woman, just don't buy nothing then. Because she only had like a soda, I think. It looked like, what do you call that thing in the bottle? Pickles, a bottle of pickles and something. And so I'm like, you really come all the way to Publix to create mischief with just these 3 items? It's not like a whole bag of chicken and spaghetti and noodles and whatever. You had 3 or 4 items in the bag and he created all that mischief. The guy had to go back, change the thing. Long story short, the world has a lot of these kind of people. People getting cold. People doing some stuff these days that I just don't know. I don't get it, but I don't even want to get it. I just want to live a happy life, a life that is pleasing to the Lord. But yeah, know your worth. Go back to knowing your worth. Go to know when the season is over and it's time to move on out of that season. You know, the season of somebody draining your energy. Yeah, it won't rain every day. Someday the sun will come out. The sun will definitely come out. It won't be cold every day. Someday it will be warm. Someday it will be too hot. But guess what? Know when to step away from that season and embrace the new season and think positive about the new season and love people genuinely in that new season. Well, I'm not going to be too long because the last one, somebody said I was too long. But hey, I had to talk in the last one. So until we meet again, see you soon. And you have just listened to Unstructured by me, Latoya. Peace out, homies. I'm joking. Love, walk good. And remember, know your worth. And when the season is over, know to move on out of that season. Better days are ahead, let me tell you.